Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As the title suggests, these are 10 cards that have been hurting hard over the last 3 months. They've taken a massive nosedive in the south direction and values of them have just been hit incredibly hard. Now, when it comes to singles pricing and I suppose investing in singles, I just want to remind everyone that's a lot more volatile. Singles can be extremely lucrative, but also can take massive losses. And we need to be real when we're talking about Pokemon card investing, particularly when we're talking about singles. Singles can be hit hard and will be hit hard. And this is just a clear example of 10 of them that have been. When it comes to sealed, right, if we look at the sort of trajectory of a sealed product, talking about a booster box mainly, if you look at the sealed booster box, for argument's sake, over a 10-year period from launch to 10 years, yes, there's going to be some ups and downs, but generally the trend line is going to be in this direction. Like it's going to get older and rarer, and therefore, demand is going to drop. And as long as supply is going to drop, and then as long as there's still some demand for it, pricing is just going to go like this. Now, whether it goes from $100 to $3,000 or $100 to $500 or $400 depends on how popular the set is, of course. Whereas singles can just do this. Like sometimes they can do that, sometimes they can do that, and they're all over the place. The general rule of thumb is, I suppose, pretty simple. Cards will come out of the gate pretty hot. Now, there's exceptions to the rule, especially chase cards. Chase cards will come out of the gate hot. Generally, they'll dip. Not always, though. Some cards just remain hot because they're popular, and that's what drives singles prices, popularity. Some will just remain hot. They will. But general rule of thumb, they come out of the gate pretty hot. They take a dip. They reach some level of equilibrium. Then the set goes out of rotation, and we start seeing this north trajectory. And then, it's that north trajectory is sometimes fueled by FOMO and other things, and they get to an unrealistic price where they take a little bit of a retraction. And that's what we're seeing in the place of a lot of old arts. But anyway, let's get into the 10. The first one, this is from Scarlet and Violet era, Temporal Forces, Morty's Conviction. These are all over the last 3 months, so just last 3 months. Morty's Conviction has gone from nearly a $47 card down to a $34 card, which is a 27% loss in the last 3 months. What makes this card special? Well, it's got Gengar in it, and Gengar is one of the original 151 and certainly a fan favorite. So, this card does deserve to be a chase card. It's a good-looking card. It's got Gengar in it. It's taken a big hit, though. There was talks about that card getting pumped up pretty hard when it came out of the gate, and as a result, it's probably come back to a more realistic level. The second one I want to show is Paradox Rift, the main chase card, Roaring Moon. It was only 3 months ago nudging $70 and it's down to $55, which is a 20% dip. This is the main chase card in Paradox Rift. I just want to remind people about Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift has serious depth, but it's lacking the big hitter or even a couple of big hitters. And that's what's probably going to hurt it long term. It's a great set. It is a great set. And the depth of illustration rares and special illustration rares is phenomenal. But if we look back in 10 years' time and we're going hunting for a chase card, what exactly are we hunting? The Roaring Moon is great. And look, I see the other counter-argument that, these Pokemon, when the kids that were really into Scarlet and Violet and playing on the Nintendo Switch in 10 years' time are maybe, 20 or 21 years old, they might go back hunting for their 151 or Gen 1 Pokemon, for argument's sake. I get that argument. I do. But, I don't know, it's just not there yet for me. The third one I want to show you, this is what are we going back into Sword and Shield now? Chilling Reign, Blaziken VMAX. This card went north quickly. Probably 6-7 months ago, and has retracted almost as quickly, but it's still better than what it was a year ago, of course, but it was $380. This was nudging $400 raw Blaziken VMAX. Now sitting at $293, which is a 23% loss. That is a beautiful card, though. I've said this before, though. I wish it was in Battle Styles. Blaziken's a fighting fire type. It just made more sense for me to have that card in Battle Styles. But anyway, it's in Chilling Reign. A fire type in Chilling Reign. And the main chase card, for that matter. Number 4 on the list, Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike. Personally, and I've said this multiple times, I prefer the look of this card over the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies. It was pushing north in price like a lot of old arts. It went to $341 and it's retracted to $213. That's a 37% dip in the last 3 months. So that one as well has retracted hard. I really like the look of that card. I really like the vibe of the whole Fusion Strike set. I just wish the new VMAX alternate art was different. It looks too much like the standard VMAX. Like, I wish it was, I don't know, something different. Put Mew in his, like the bubble Mew from Powder and Phase. Do something. I wish if that Mew was more special, Fusion Strike would be like, I shouldn't say nudging Evolving Skies, but it would be clipping at its heels. The fifth one on my list is Brilliant Stars Charizard Alt Art. This went from $176 US to $130 US in the last 3 months, a 26% loss. I'll tell you what's special about this card, and something I really like about this card is it's Charizard versus Venusaur. It's Charizard in his battle element. I wish we had more of these types of cards. They're really special looking cards in my eyes. And it's just funny, isn't it, that Charizard, which is the original base set chase card and has been a chase card throughout so many sets across so many eras, is overshadowed by so many other chase cards in the Sword and Shield era. It's just interesting to me. Yes, there's a lot of Charizard chases. You know, we have the Champion's Path Charizards. We've got the, obviously, Brilliant Stars Charizard and a few others, of course, but it's just interesting that he's overshadowed by a lot of others. Hey, we're 5 out of 10, so we're halfway through. I just wanted to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Shiny. Hey, I downloaded this app all of probably, a week ago now, and I'm nearly finished uploading my whole singles and sealed collection, so you can upload singles, of course, and sealed. With the singles, it's got a really cool 3D render of the card. You can spin it around. You can add multiple copies. It has raw pricing. Not only raw pricing, it has graded pricing as well. So if you've got it graded by PSA, CGC, Beckett, for argument's sake, and whether it's a 10, 9, 8, 7, it'll give you all that data, all those pricing, so you can add them straight into your collection. It will also track, obviously, the profit and loss that you've made off your collection. For me, particularly, who has a very, very heavily based sealed collection, it's super good. The data's only going to get better. This app has only been out for 3 months and it's starting to take off. A lot of people are starting to use it. So jump on board. I'll leave it in the description of the video here, where you can download it from Android or Apple. Anyway, on the number 6 on the list, what are we up to? Lost Origins Pikachu VMAX. A lot of trainer galleries have been hurt a little bit in the last 3 months. This card 3 months ago was $49 US, and it's down to $30 US. 37% loss in the last 3 months. Hey, just for reference, and I've said this before, Lost Origins Trainer Gallery, which is a very heavily Pikachu-based trainer gallery, which is great, it's actually ranked 3 out of 4 when it comes to trainer galleries. The strongest, price-wise, trainer gallery is Brilliant Stars. Then, funnily enough, it's actually Astral Radiance that has the second strongest trainer gallery price-wise. Then it's Lost Origin, and then finally Silver Tempest is bringing up the rear. Speaking of Silver Tempest, the Rayquaza from the Trainer Gallery has gone in a similar place to the Pikachu. It's gone from $49 to $31 in the last 3 months, which is a 36% decrease. It's amazing how many of those Trainer Galleries followed the same trend over the last 3 months. It's just this retraction in popularity now that, people were thinking a lot of these sets are out of rotation and the cards are going to go to the moon, and FOMO probably caused people to buy them, and all of a sudden we've seen a retraction back to, some level of normality. What are we up to now? Number 8, aren't we? Yeah, 8. Astral Radiance's Machamp alternate art. I go on and on about how much I like Astral Radiance. I think it's a great set. And this Machamp is the number 1 chase card. Only 3 months ago, that was $190 US, and it's back down to $128. It has leveled off over the last 2 months, though. Like, it took a massive drop. In the last 2 months, it's sort of leveled off. So I think that's sort of its price. I think it's a $120 to $130 US chase card. It's had a 33% drop, though, in the last 3 months. Number 9 on the list, one of the greatest sets, the final yellow border Pokemon card set, Crown Zenith, the Leafeon V-Stars, gone from $36 to $24, which is a 31% drop in the last 3 months. Crown Zenith, we've got another product out, don't we? That, I forget what they called it. It's a new collection box with more Crown Zenith inside it. I imagine there's just a heap of leftover Crown Zenith booster packs. Like, that set would have been printed to oblivion, and it's got to be pumped out still with some nice new boxes. And finally, number 10 on the list, something a little bit different. This is in the last 3 months. I just want to show you how hype and FOMO and then a return to reality and additional printing in some cases can affect a Pokemon card's value, and that is the Pikachu with the grey felt hat. You know, the demand and outrage for this card was crazy. People were going bonkers over it. You know, at its height, it was $172 raw, and it's retracted all the way back to $92 raw. That's nearly lost half its value. So it's 47% of its value that it's dropped. It can just show you that to drum home my point, to go back to the investing or putting our investing hat on, it just shows how volatile singles can be. Singles are so driven by demand and supply, of course, but so driven by demand. You know, if you want something safe, invest in booster boxes. If you want to have some fun and collect and enjoy the ride that singles might be, then go ahead and give it a crack. So there's 10 that have taken a massive drop over the last 3 months. I'm Michael. This is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.